said I'd leave them when the kids grew up. But by the time the kids had grown up, there was nowhere to go. Well, you don't start again at 42, do you? They do say, don't they, that when you reach your 40s, life gets a bit jaded, and you start to feel that the only good things are things in the past. Well, I must have been an early developer, because I felt like that at 25. Oh, I'm not saying he's bad, my fella. He's just no bleeding good. Mind you, I think they're all the same, aren't they? I mean, they're marvellous at first, you know, when they're courting, you know, before you've had the horizontal party with them. Oh, they can't do enough for you. Nothing is too much trouble. But the very minute after they first had you, their behaviour starts to change. It's like that advert, isn't it? I was watching it the other day. Milk Tray Man. Oh, he's marvellous, isn't he? You see him, he dives off a 1,000-foot cliff. He swims through 2 miles of water just to drop off a box of chocolates. And you learn from that the lady loves Milk Tray. Oh! And that the lady's been keeping her legs firmly closed. Because if she hadn't, if he'd had his way with her, he wouldn't go there by diving off a cliff and swimming through a raging torrent. He'd go by bus. And there'd be no chocolates. If she mentioned the chocolates he used to bring, he'd say, "Hey, no, babe, stop bringing your chocolates because you're putting a bit too much weight on." You know, if you think about it, Cadbury's could go out of business if women didn't hold back a bit. Oh, I don't hate men. I'm not a feminist. Not like Jane. Jane's my mate. Now, she's a feminist, or at least she likes to think she is. You know, she reads Cosmopolitan, and she thinks all men are potential rapists. Even the Pope. Well, Jane does hate men. She divorced her husband, you know. I never knew him. It was before I met Jane. Apparently, she came home from work one morning to find her husband in bed with the milkman. With the milkman? Honest to God. Well, from that day forward, Jane was a feminist. And I noticed she never takes milk in her tea. Jane's going to Greece for a fortnight. Next month, she's going... Oh, what am I going to do for 2 weeks? Jane's the only one who keeps me sane. She's the only one I talk to apart from the wall. Isn't she, Wall? She is. I said to her this morning, I said, "Oh, Jane, I won't half miss you." And do you know what she said to me? "I want you to come with me." Oh, silly bitch. Oh, hey, War. War, imagine the face on him. Imagine the face on him if he had to look after himself for 2 weeks. Jesus, if I go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, he thinks I've been hijacked. Oh, it's lovely, that. Not too dry. Some of it would strip the palate off you, wouldn't it? But this is lovely. It's nice wine. It's like it's been kissed by the sun. He doesn't drink wine. He says wine is nothing but a posh way of getting pissed. I suppose he's right. But it's nice. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to drink a glass of wine in a country where the grape is grown. Sitting by the sea, looking at the sun. But he won't go abroad. Well, you see, he gets jet lag when we go to the Isle of Man. And I wouldn't mind, we go by boat. We've been going there for 15 years and he still won't drink the tap water. He's that type, Joe, you know, he gets culture shock when we go to Chester. See, what Jane says is, he's entitled to his own mind and that's fine. If he doesn't want to go abroad, well, that's up to him. But that shouldn't stop me going, if I want to. And I know she's right, I know. It's logical, dead logical. But like I said to her, you can't bring logic into this, Jane. We're talking about marriage. Marriage is like the Middle East, isn't it? There's no solution. You jiggle things about a bit. You give up a bit here, you take a bit there, and you deal with the flare-ups when they happen. But most of the time, you keep your head down, observe the curfew, and hope that the ceasefire holds. Of course, that's when Jane handed me the time bomb. She's only gone and paid for me to go, hasn't she? She handed me the tickets this morning. Oh. Bradshaw, S. Mrs. BD 581, June 23rd, 1900 hours, Manchester to Corfu. Well, she didn't want to go on her own, you see. She just got the money through from the sale of their house. But how the hell could I tell her it was impossible? I'll give her the tickets back tomorrow. Oh, she'll easily find somebody else to go. I should never have taken the bloody things off her in the first place. Well, I tried. I mean, I tried to, tell her that it was impossible. But you know what feminists are like. If you tell them something's impossible, that's the perfect reason for doing it. It'd be fantastic though, wouldn't it? I'd just put his tea on the table, and I'd turn away all dead cash, and I'd say, oh, by the way, babe, I'm just popping off to Greece for a fortnight. Yeah, I just thought I'd mention it so you can put it in your diary. You won't mind doing your own cooking and washing for a couple of weeks, will you, babe? No, there's nothing to it, doll. The white blob in there, that's the washing machine. And this white blob here, that's the cooker. And you don't want to get them mixed up or you might end up with socks on toast. Some chance, eh, Wal? Some chance.